Welcome to Magicbricks Now, India's first property channel. I'm Faye D'Souza. You're watching Property Hotline. On the show today, we're going to try and answer as many questions as you have about buying, selling and investing in real estate. So if you have a question regarding any of those things, pick up the phone and call us, or you can reach us on Facebook. In the studio with me to answer your questions, Arvind Nandan, Executive Director at Liases Foras. Arvind, thank you for coming in. We have, I'm told, a caller on the phone line already. Hello. Where are you calling from and how can we help you?
Yeah, hi. My name is Shams and I'm calling from Bangalore.
Right.
Yeah, I'm looking for a 2 BHK house in Bangalore. I'm an IT guy and working here. So, and I was looking for myself. I was not looking for any kind of investment or something. So I need a place like you know, in Bangalore, companies are spread all over the city. So, and traffic is the one of the biggest challenge here. So I was looking for some place like where most of the IT parks are reachable from my house.
Which,
so that was like,
where do you work right now? Where is your office in Bangalore?
Yeah, right now I work in MG Road.
Okay.
But I'm looking for future also because, you know, like currently today here and next time, we don't know where we'll be. So and this is a problem, like some of my friends, they have taken flat and even they are having a flat and they are staying in rented house in Bangalore because they cannot go to office, buy from their home. So it's too far.
Sure.
So what would be the best place like where most of the IT parks I can cover? And my budget is 60 lakhs.
All right. 60 lakh rupees, 2 bedrooms. You know, the good thing, Arvind, about Bangalore is that there's so many options and the range is so wide when it comes to actually looking for a 2-bedroom. But here's a very specific request. He needs to be near as many IT parks as possible. So that would be the Whitefield, Sarjapur Road, Electronic City. So somewhere on the outer ring road, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, that's quite obvious. So you have to be on the outer ring road. Better you stick with, you know, the established areas like Whitefield, Electronic City, or I wouldn't even mind going towards Sarjapur Road if you don't go too deep, too south in it. But, you know, these are the obvious locations. Yes, of course, there is a possibility that you could go towards the northern part with a futuristic mindset, which is Hebal and all. If I speak about his price range, you know, I think he's got a very, very good price range in mind, which is about 60 lakhs. Bangalore still has a sweet spot of about 5,000 to 6,000 rupees a square foot for apartments. So you can have your choices from within Electronic City. I wouldn't mind suggesting Marthahalli. You could look at Sarjapur Road, like I said earlier, and these parts. In my view, you know, it's most important that you look at something where you will stay put for the next 8 to 10 years. Don't look at just a 2-3 year period. Obviously, jobs can change, you can move. But even if you are buying it for yourself, make it an investment for future as well if you moved out elsewhere. So,
you know, from the neighborhoods that you talked about, there's a lot of construction coming up right now. 60 lakh rupees as a budget might be a little limiting. If you look at Whitefield, everybody from Prestige to Brigade is constructing in Whitefield. If you look at the prices, Sarjapur Road, currently around 5,000 rupees a square foot, which means that a thousand square foot 2-bedroom would be around the 50 to 55 lakh rupee budget. Are there any specific builders you can recommend to him as well? Yeah,
I mean, there are several, and it's going to be only unfair if I name just 2 or 3 and left out others. But as examples, you know, there are several. Let's speak of VBHC Serene, which is in Whitefield. I think that's a good, worthwhile project, a good brand name. There is Prestige Sunrise Park Norwood in Electronic City. You can look at that. There is Bren Imperia. It could be slightly out of budget, but I wouldn't even mind suggesting look at something like 1 and 1.5 BHK if your family is not too big right now, because that is something which has a very good branding and a very good proposition for future. These are only a few names, a couple of names. You go out in these markets and you'll find at least 2 dozen very easily. So, you know, there's a whole bouquet to choose from. You have to be very sure about which location you're going to, look at the infrastructure, etc., and then you can invest very closely.
Sham, I just wanted to ask you, you know, before we wrap this up, do you currently have any kids? Are you looking at starting a family? What's your plan for the next few years?
Yeah, I'm alone. I'm not married. So, but yeah, soon I'll be married. So yeah, that's what I was looking for.
All right, so my recommendation personally would be to look at a neighborhood in Bangalore which has a lot of social infrastructure, where there are schools, malls, parks, that sort of thing. So when you do start a family in the future, you'll find yourself more inclined to living closer to a school or a park or, you know, hospitals, things like that, rather than your workspace. So while you have all of these options that we've just listed out for you, put social infrastructure, you know, right on top. And keep a close eye on the metro line. Find out where the metro line is coming in as well. That will also be a factor that you should consider going forward. Is there anything else we can help you with?
No, thank you. I have got it. Actually, I was also looking for Sajapur Road, but I was confused. So just now, by this advice, I can think more on it, and really, it's going to help.
I can add a little bit before
please
you
go ahead.
Wrapped up. So Sajapur Road is a good option. In fact, I was there just about a week ago. Don't get discouraged or disheartened by the bad condition of road that you might find when you go deeper into Sajapur Road. Those things are temporary. You are going to invest in an apartment which will be for a very long cycle. So make sure you are choosing a location like Faye said, where you have hospitals, schools, bazaars, markets, etc. Other things will eventually fall in place in Bangalore.
All right, Sajapur Road, like we said, priced around 5,000 rupees a square foot. We hope that helps, Shams. If you need more help further down the road, whether it's with the builder or with the legal aspects or the contract, you can get in touch with us. That's what we're here for on Magicbricks Now. Thank you so much for getting in touch. My producer tells me we have another caller on the phone line already. This is Amay who's called in. Amay, where are you calling from and what is your question?
Yeah, I'm calling from Borivali West,
Right.
Mumbai. And I'm looking for a flat which is ready or nearing completion. And
Okay.
my budget is in the range of 2 to 2.5 CR.
Okay.
And preferably in the Borivali West area or nearby.
All right. Is there any specific reason why you prefer Borivali West right now?
No, I'm staying currently in Borivali West, and my parents will be shifting to nearing my place. So I'm looking, that's why something in the near surrounding.
All right. 2 bedrooms, 2.5 crore rupees for Borivali West is a good budget to have.
It is.
And there's right now there are a lot of new launches coming up in that Western Express line. He specifically wants Borivali West. He doesn't want Goregaon or Malad or Kandivali. Can you recommend something for him in Borivali West?
Yeah, I think I have a good bit of advice for Ameya. Ameya, first of all, if you're looking at Borivali West, you have 2 or 3 very different things to choose from. So your criterion could be closer to the railway station, in which case your choices are different. Your criterion could be a very self-sufficient kind of a colony or a society or a place, in which case you might even want to choose IC colony. Or if you want to go a little further away to avail of the price benefit, then you could look at Gorai. So in the first case, I think you would rather want to stick with something which is like LT Road or close by.
Let's ask him, Amay, do you prefer to be closer to the train station or you want to move further away and get a complex that has a pool and a clubhouse and all of those other facilities?
So currently, I stay on the link road.
Okay.
So something which is approachable from the link road, not very much to the station because that happens to be a very crowded area and plus very expensive.
Sure. Right.
So I think the budget may not be in my budget.
All right,
So
fair
my
enough.
budget is around 2 to 2.5. So maybe Borivali or Kandivali link road would be a better option.
Right.
Sure. Go ahead, Arvind.
I think since you already are on Link Road, you're quite familiar with that area. You definitely, I think, should look at IC extension, that is a Kandarpada extension area, or IC colony itself, where you are going to have a lot of self-sufficient infrastructure. It is primarily a Christian majority area, but you will find a very good mix. You have all social infrastructure. You have 2 very big hospitals in the neighborhood. There is Karna Hospital, there is Bhagwati Hospital, and you have all kinds of other things. Now, if you want to look at projects that are there are quite a few new projects coming up, apart from the redevelopment ones. You could look at something like Ajmera Regalia. You could look at Mayfair Sham, if you want to go slightly towards Gorai, not far from Link Road where you are. There is Parni Arne, and there are quite a few. There is DB's project, which has been there since long, which is in Kandivali. So you will find, I think, more than 20-25 projects very easily. I think the most important thing for you to decide is, since your families or your parents are moving in together, you should look at something which is IC colony or IC extension. I think my clear vote is for that.
All right. Amay, does that help? Is there anything else you'd like to ask us?
No, I'm quite. I mean, basically looking for projects which are nearing completion rather than
So there are
going to be launched.
Yeah, so a lot of these are very close to completion. In fact, DBs that I suggested, or even Vadwa, which is a little far from Link Road, is also a good project to look at. And your budget is quite good, so you can actually find options.
All right, DB Realty and Vadva. And if you have any more questions, you can get back in touch with us. Feel free to call us at any point. Arvind, since we are talking about the Mumbai market, there is something I have to ask you. This is the Times of India from Saturday morning. And this is what the front page of the Times of India looks like. It's an ad from Dheeraj Properties that offers 7.5% interest rate on a Kurla property that's in the launch phase. And this is the interesting part. It says Kurla West, 2 BHK 95 lakh rupees onwards, 1 BHK 75 lakh rupees onwards. These are unheard of prices for Kurla. It goes on to say pay 10% on down payment, 80% loan financing and 7.5% interest rate and 10% on possession. We've been receiving a lot of phone calls about this. There's a picture of it on the back as well. You know, Kurla West is a great location given everything that's happening with BKC right now. I want to ask you how, how likely is it that the builder will be able to offer 7.5% interest rate given we're looking at about 10%, 10.25%, which is what the banks are offering right now. Where is the remaining difference going to come from, and is this something we should actually believe?
There's no harm believing. I think this is not something new, but it might be slightly new to the Mumbai markets. In Noida and in NCR, this has been quite prevalent for quite some time. What they call as interest subvention schemes. So there are three parties in this whole game plan or the whole transaction. There is obviously the developer, there is a financing institution or a bank, and the consumer. What happens is the bank would initially finance it at about 10-odd%, 9-10%. The consumer is offered a rate which is could be something like this, and there is a 2-year moratorium period for the consumer as well. So you make an initial deposit, 20%, 30%, 25%, whatever, and then that money eventually bakes for a while. So the builder and the bank will recover that. The only thing is you are now locked in. So you bear the risk of the project completion, its business cycle, construction cycle, etc. Okay. But then there is a definite win-win in case the project and the brand is good, which is not going to
So
default.
then tell me in this case, see, because the thing that I noticed most about this ad, and I'm going to hold it up for our viewers one more time, there's a massive asterisk sign right next to 7.5% that says conditions apply. There it is, you can see it. And even below where they've actually listed out the prices, and it says 80%, it says conditions apply, conditions apply, conditions apply, conditions apply. This is the sort of thing that would make any sort of customer really nervous. Tell us what the track record is of Dheeraj Builders here, because as a customer, when you take on an interest subvention scheme like this one, you're taking on the risk of delays and delivery. What is the track record of this builder so far?
Well, Dheeraj is a very, very well-known name. HDIL, Dheeraj, they have been in the business since long. They are amongst those who have done redevelopment and slum redevelopment projects quite a bit, and a huge portfolio that exists today. One thing I'll say as a caveat, there's probably no builder in this country today who can claim that there are absolutely no delays on their projects.
So there are delays on the project.
So there can be delays. I would not mean for this specific project, but there can be delays, going by the overall situation that we're in. But overall, as a brand, you can really trust them, and they have a very, very solid track record, at least in Mumbai. So from that point of view, I think it's solid. But you will have to do your own due diligence. Like I always say, in any investment that you make in real estate, specific due diligence on that property is important rather than going by an umbrella impression of any.
All right. So this is mine. We're looking at Kurla West right now. It's trading at an average of 14,000 rupees per square foot, which means 1,000 square feet should cost you about 1.4 crore rupees. Now, a 2-bedroom in this, in this complex is costing 95 lakh rupees. So that does seem like a great deal. But my advice to you is before you part with any money at all, even the booking amount, get that contract looked at by a lawyer twice, so that you actually understand what all of those conditions are, how this thing has been designed, how does it work, what are your liabilities, what happens if he doesn't pay, if he doesn't deliver, who is liable to the bank? It's most likely going to be you. So you have to check that very, very carefully before you sign on anything else. And of course, on Magicbricks Now, we're going to go through the contract ourselves as soon as we can get our hands on it and find out what the details are, and we'll have that for you possibly by Monday. One of our reporters is looking into it right now. All right, we have another phone call. Kishan Punjabi is on the phone. Kishan ji, बताइए आपका question क्या है?
हाँ मैडम, मैं बम्बई में खमाजोली से बोलता हूँ। तो मेरे को मेरी सिस्टर के लिए अलग ही बालाजी नगर में 12 से 14 लाख के अंदर 1 रूम मिलेगा या 1 रूम किचन मिलेगा, ऐसा देख रहा हूँ।
अच्छा, आपको पुणे में खरीदना है, बालाजी नगर में खरीदना है?
बालाजी नगर ये आलमगी है, आलमगी रोड है उधर।
अच्छा, और आपका बजट क्या है?
मैडम 12 से 14 लाख।
अच्छा, और आप ये इन्वेस्टमेंट के तौर पे खरीद रहे हैं किशन जी?
हाँ, आप ये क्या बोले आप?
अच्छा, ठीक है. So he wants to buy in Balaji Nagar in Pune with a budget of 12 to 15 lakh rupees. Arvind, should he go ahead? Is there enough supply there in that bracket for him?
There's quite a bit of supply. So, Kishan ji, I think you are looking at a slightly offbeat location in Pune, Alandi or Balaji Nagar, which is even to the north of Pimpri Chinchwad, which is considered to be, the final limit when you speak of Pune.
Kishan ko, he'll be able to understand you better if you answer him
if
in
I
Hindi.
speak in Hindi, all right. So, किशन जी, आपने जो लोकेशन चुनी है ये पिंपरी चिंचवाड़ के उत्तर में है, नॉर्थ में है, और ये थोड़ी सी ऑफ बीट लोकेशन है, रेगुलर लोकेशन नहीं है, लेकिन आपको यहाँ पे 12-14 लाख में मिल सकता है ऑप्शन. आपको ये ध्यान रखना होगा कि आप एक 1 BHK के आसपास ही ट्राई करिए, जिसका कि प्राइस करीब 2 से 2,500 रुपये पर स्क्वायर फुट की रेंज में हो. बहुत ज़्यादा महंगा होगा तो आपके बजट में फिट नहीं होगा. और बहुत ज़्यादा प्रोजेक्ट्स नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी 1-2 प्रोजेक्ट ज़रूर हैं जो आप एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हैं. जैसे तानिश वाटिका है, इसको देख लीजिए. लेकिन किसी भी इन्वेस्टमेंट को इस एरिया में करने से पहले आपको ड्यू डिलिजेंस यानी कि जांच परख बहुत अच्छी तरह करनी होगी. जांच परख करने के लिए, जैसा फे ने पहले कहा था, आपको एक लीगल एडवाइज़र चाहिए, आपका कोई फ्रेंड हो या कोई और हो सके तो एक आर्किटेक्ट जो बाय लॉ समझता है उसको भी साथ में ले लीजिए. इसके अलावा मेरा ख्याल है अगर आप 12-14 लाख देख रहे हैं, अलंदी देख रहे हैं, तो आप कुछ और अपकमिंग लोकेशंस भी देख लीजिए. आपके बजट में आ सकती हैं प्रॉपर्टीज़. थोड़ा फ्यूचरिस्टिक होगा. जैसे तलेगांव में अगर आप देखेंगे तो एल्कॉन का प्रोजेक्ट है, उसको आप देख सकते हैं. चिखली है, चाकन है, वागोली में प्रिस्टीन सिटी है, हिंजेवाड़ी में एक्सर्बिया का एक प्रोजेक्ट है. ये सब फ्यूचरिस्टिक हैं, यानी कि 2-3 साल आपको रुकना पड़ सकता है, लेकिन आपको मिलेगा.
ये प्रोजेक्ट उनके बजट में आएंगे क्या?
हाँ,
हिंजेवाड़ी में
अगर आज ये इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, हिंजेवाड़ी इज नॉट द मेन हिंजेवाड़ी, हिंजेवाड़ी का जो एक्सटेंडेड पार्ट है वहाँ पे मिलेगा. और अभी इन्वेस्ट करेंगे तो 14-15 लाख में मिल जाएगा, या हो सकता है 15-16 तक जाएगा. बाद में जाएंगे तो ये 20-25 लाख हो गया होगा.
ठीक है. और ये बताइए, अगर वो अभी इन नेबरहुड्स में इन्वेस्ट करें जो पिंपरी चिंचवड से भी आगे जाना पड़ेगा, सिटी लाइन से दूर जाना पड़ेगा, तो ये म्युनिसिपल कमीशन में नहीं है, PMC में नहीं है, PCMC में नहीं है, तो PMRDA हो गया. तो ये बताइए कि इनको अप्रिसिएशन क्या मिलेगा, इस कैपिटल अप्रिसिएशन क्या मिल सकती है?
मेरा ख्याल बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है ये. देखिए, कैपिटल अप्रिसिएशन 2 चीज़ों से बनता है. एक तो ये कि उस मार्केट में आज कितनी एक्टिविटी हो रही है और आने वाले टाइम में कितनी होगी, और आप किस स्टेज पे एंटर कर रहे हैं. कैपिटल एप्रिसिएशन इस केस में, अलंदी के केस में या फ्यूचरिस्टिक के केसेस में, शुरू में बहुत कम होता है. हो सकता है कि इनिशियल 2-3-4 साल आपको एप्रिसिएशन सिर्फ 4-5% या 8-10% की रेंज में मिले. लेकिन जब धीरे धीरे हीट वहाँ तक आ जाती है डेवलपमेंट की, तो फिर ये स्पीड पिकअप होता है. उसके बाद फिर 20-25-30% ऑन एन एवरेज होने लगता है. तो आपको 2 पार्ट्स में देखना पड़ेगा. पहले 2-3 साल को स्लो देखिए, उसके बाद फिर थोड़ा सा हाई रेट पे देखिए.
किशन जी, आपके पास और कुछ सवाल है हमारे लिए?
हाँ, मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ कि मेरा जो मकान था सिस्टर ने बेच दिया है. अभी फिलहाल मैं लीव लाइसेंस पे रह रही है भाईंदर में, तो उनको इमीडिएटली चाहिए. रुक नहीं सकते 2-3 साल, ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट में नहीं लगा सकते.
अच्छा, तो आपको रेडी टू ऑक्यूपाई खरीदना है?
क्या मेरा?
अच्छा, अरविंद, रेडी टू ऑक्यूपाई
रेडी टू ऑक्यूपाई में 1-2 ही प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं वहाँ पर. आप उनको ज़रा बारीकी से एक बार देख लीजिए. एक तानिश वाटिका का मैंने नाम लिया था, वहाँ पर आप एक बार चेक कर लीजिए. और अगर आप बारीकी से,
दूसरी बात वो ये चेक कर सकते हैं कि वहाँ रीसेल में कुछ अगर मिल सकता है.
मैं कहने वाला था, थैंक यू वेरी मच. तो इसके अलावा किशन जी, आप ये भी चेक कर सकते हैं उस मार्केट में लोकल ब्रोकर्स के थ्रू कि रीसेल में कौन सी प्रॉपर्टीज़ आ रही हैं, और वहाँ पे आपको ज़रूर मिल जाएगा. हो सकता है आपको छानबीन ज़्यादा करनी पड़े क्योंकि बजट लिमिटेड है, लेकिन मिल जाएगा आपको.
ऑलराइट किशन जी, अगर आपके पास और कुछ सवाल है तो ज़रूर हमें फ़ोन कर दीजिए, और हमारा फ़ोन लाइन खुले. All of our viewers who are watching right now who'd like to get in touch with us, we have an email sent in by Abhishek Kumar, who writes in from Pune. He wants to buy a 3-bedroom apartment at Soos in Pune. He shortlisted the Pinnacle Nilanchal project. He wants to know if it's a good project and what appreciation he can expect from this area in the future. We're getting a lot of investor and buyer interest for the city of Pune. Arvind, would you recommend he goes ahead and does that deal, and what sort of appreciation can he expect?
Well, I definitely think he can go ahead and do that, but I'll break his question in 2 parts. One is, to talk about whether the location is good or not. Soos, Pashan and these locations, they're not far from Hinjewadi. And the icing on the cake is that they're not even very much off, the Mumbai-Pune Expressway. Anything which is touching or which is close to Mumbai-Pune Expressway is always a very good location, particularly if you look at, Pune or neighboring markets of Pune. So your location is quite good. I think you're doing right there. Now, let's talk about the Nilanchal project, which is quite a big project. It is going to take a bit of time to build. Connectivity is quite good. So it is something where you can invest, but like we said earlier, a little while earlier, you have to break your appreciation expectation in two parts. In a project which is just coming up, your initial appreciation may not be very high because it's still building, and till the time anything is complete, the risk is not over. So in the initial part, you expect a return in the range of which is 8 to 9 middling kind of a range. And once the project is over and if you still stuck with it, you will have a very good appreciation. I would actually stick my neck out and say, over a period of time, over a period of 6-7 years, you could even gain 50% or even higher. So it is something which is a yes and yes on location as well as the project, but you have to be patient with it.
All right, you're going to have to be patient with it. And if you have more questions about your investment, you can get in touch with us. That's what we're here for. Whether it's the home loan or the legal stuff, just write us an email or call us. Just like our next caller has called us, I believe we have Nishant on the phone line from Delhi. Nishant, tell us how we can help you.
Yeah, hi.
Vishal, I'm sorry. Vishal, tell us how we can help you.
Yeah, see, I'm looking at a 3-bedroom plus servant.
Okay.
A project which is good by a good builder, and looking for a subvention plan because I have a plan to move in, say about in 2 years or 3 years of time.
All right. And what neighborhood are you considering within Gurgaon?
I'm looking at sectors which are close to sector 50, 51, maybe on the golf course extension, that side. I'm not looking at Dwarka Expressway.
Okay, you're not looking at Dwarka Expressway. That might actually be a good thing. Vishal, what did you say your budget was again?
So, sorry, I can't hear you.
What is your budget for this buy?
Yeah, so what I'm looking at, 1.10, close to that.
All right, 1.10. Arvind?
About a crore.
About a crore. So, looking at all of Gurgaon, how much supply is there within his budget? Will he be able to buy a 3 BHK for 1 crore rupees?
The supply is there, but the problem is now the pricing is going slightly out of his reach, unfortunately. So everything that's around the golf course or in the main heartland of Gurgaon is now climbing upwards of 1.3 crores, 1.45 crores, etc. But Vishal, I have another suggestion for you. You could actually look at very good projects which are coming up in sector 86, 90, and even slightly around that area, where you have DLF Newtown, you have Supertech Aravile, etc. You have Ansal Highland Park also, Unitech Crestview, and quite a few others. Some of these are available already. For example, in Newtown, you can find ready apartments, or some of them will be available shortly. If you went there, you will still find very good apartments, good sizes, 3 BHKs as per your need, and you may not have to struggle with the budget. So if these two things match, I think that might be an ideal or a better solution for you, I thought. Otherwise, if you keep scanning...
Vishal, does that seem on the right track, or you have any more information you'd like to give us about your needs on this buy?
Yeah, see, what I'm looking at, I'm not looking at Dwarka Express anyway. So what I'm looking at is towards the side, Southern Peripheral Road, which is expected to move, and and I'm looking at 3 years from now. I'm not looking at an immediate moving in. So I'm looking for a subvention with a good builder.
So Arvind, it is very clear what he wants. He wants a good, reliable builder. He doesn't mind waiting 3 years. His timeline is 3 years. So he'd like a subvention scheme, the one that we were just talking about some time ago. So the reputation of the builder to deliver on time will be key at this point. And he's very clear about what neighborhood he wants to consider. So what recommendation can you give him, keeping all of that in mind?
Well, this has a slightly indirect answer then. The first thing is, Vishal, since you are looking at about 3 years from now, my only suspicion, or you could say fear, is that the pricing may climb from here. So we've seen a very steady and a flat market condition.
In Gurgaon, really, given the kind of oversupply we're seeing in Gurgaon right now.
Oversupply is as on date. Market's been steady and they've been flat for quite some time. In 3 years, I am not very certain if the prices will continue to remain like this.
No, he's saying that he wants to book it now with a 3-year delivery timeline. So he wants delivery in 3 years. He's not waiting 3 years for, to make a buy. So if he books it now, he locks in that price. Yeah. So the change in price doesn't affect him.
Yeah. So, I'm still not very confident if there are, 3 BHKs with servant quarter, etc., available within 90 lakhs to a crore or so. They can be, in fact, but if you want a good builder, and good builders means, the major brands which exist in Delhi. Even if you look at, the Raheja's developments, which are a little away, they're all going upwards of 1.3 crores or so, even as on date. So the problem is you can actually find something, but if if you want to fit in with a very well-known brand, something which has got a very sound record as on date.
I would recommend Vishal
then
goes
you look
into
at
that
the
market and
secondary
drives. Vishal drive a really, really hard bargain. Nobody in Gurgaon right now selling property is in a position to hold a price. So if you can bargain hard enough,
and look
you
in the
might
secondary
be,
market.
But see, if he looks at the secondary market, Arvind, he's going to have to make a full
I know.
payment.
I'm not looking at secondary market. I'm looking
Yeah.
at actually the three-year plan.
He'll have to make a full payment and start an EMI the very next month, which is not part of, that's not part of his plan.
Which is actually the challenge.
Yeah,
so I think it's a great question to have. And, the problem is, it's not a very straight-cut problem to solve. So you might have to either look at slightly away, or then your budget has to change slightly.
Vishal, we're running out of time on this show, but what we are going to do is our team will comb through the market and pull up some recommendations for you. Also, I do believe that if you bargain really hard at this point, you might be able to push someone who's maybe 10, 20 lakh rupees above your budget, closer to your budget. So it's not a lost cause. We will help you out. Someone will call you from this channel and give you a list of names that you could possibly consider. With that, unfortunately, it's a wrap on today's show, Property Hotline. On Monday, we'll be back with another expert to answer your questions on buying and selling. Remember also Tuesday, redevelopment special on this very show. So stay with the channel. Stay with Magicbricks Now. Thanks for watching.